Hey guys and girls, BJ and Game Day back for another week. Well, what a week it was. Some huge scores out there for Supercoaches. But before we dive into the Supercoach, I am the victim of another stupid bet that the King makes. Let's just move this up a little bit there. Hampton, mate, tell us about the bet, buddy.
Yeah, look, as people out there probably are aware, you're a massive Sharkies fan, mate. I'm a big Newcastle fan. The boys went up against each other on the weekend, and we thought we'd have something on it, as we tend to in BJ and Game Day fashion at the moment. And I think it was a pretty last minute. I think you text saying, "What are we doing here?" Probably 10-6 or something. And the thumbnail shows what the reply was, mate. 6 shots before the show.
Six shots.
My boys got the job done, quite surprisingly. It was good to see. And, now you're up for it, mate. 6 shots. So what do we got tonight?
Mate, we've got the Stolly vodka. It's all I've got. I've got a coffee liqueur up there, but I'm not a coffee drinker. The missus drinks that stuff. So it's definitely not water, boys and girls. It is Stolly vodka. No doubt in about 10 minutes you'll be able to see the result of it. So we're just going to pour the shots here. I'm just thinking, so 6 shots. What do we got? 30 ml a shot. It's 180 ml. That's a good glass of water. Fucking hell. This is... we'll be all right to begin with. Oh, we spilled a bit. We better lick that up after.
He's already sloppy.
I'll tell you what.
You're on the rear end of a few of these bets. I'll tell you what,
mate. For anyone at home, if you're much of a punter, you've basically just got to ask me for a tip each week. Now I've got to bet on it though, because I can give you a tip and it'll get up, and I won't have bet on it. But if you want to know what's going to lose, just get me to bet on something, and it's a certainty to lose and go the other way. So, rightio. Well, I better put the mic down for this one. There we go.
All right. Down the
Count me in, boys.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Put him away, King. What's he psyching? He's psyching himself up.
See, this is why I wanted the mic. I wanted to hear the reaction.
Oh, here we go. How many is that? 2, 3? He's struggling.
He's going to chase.
He's had a chaser. He's gone a mid chaser. He's not doing well. How many is that, Joshy?
That's 3.
3
to go. 3 to go. Oh.
4.
Oh.
2/3 done.
4.
Chaser, mid chaser.
Oh, I didn't think it'd be this tough. Oh, you tell us not water, boys. Jeez,
rough vodka though.
I tell you,
fucking cheap shit vodka.
Mate, I don't think if it was expensive it'd go down any easier. That's for sure.
Good.
Tell you what, it's been a while since I shot vodka. Come on.
Yeah, I probably could have come up with some better stuff, couldn't I?
Fuck.
Oh.
What's this, 5?
Oh.
Lucky last, one more.
He's struggling here.
One more, that's all you need.
Hang on.
All right, here we go. 6th and final. Hey.
All
right, fellas.
Well
on with the show. Yeah, you're talking over the intro at the moment. Yeah. Yep, it's on.
Joshy, Bogan, and myself, round 17 review, round 18 preview. Getting to the pointy end of the season now. 3 rounds to go. Thanks everyone for
making his appearance. Cheers, mate. Sound should be coming through.
Potato. Oh, fuck. I got no audio. Can hear Bogan only. Bogan, you got to carry the show, mate.
Yeah, fuck Supercoach. I'm going back to playing Nintendo. How's that coming through now?
Check 1 2. Mic check,
Got it, mate.
mic check 1 2 1 2.
We good, boys? Oh, I can hear me. Back for Joshy. No good for Brent just yet. Mate, Brent, last week looked not too bad for me. One of the many, many, many thousands of people that scored over 1,400, 1,432. Look, I had the straight-up captain on Teddy. I didn't really worry about a VC last week. Mate, it was fuck, I can feel this vodka in me, I tell you. Shit. Oh, Jesus. Woo. Oh, Jesus.
We're on here.
Oh, he's fucking done. He's toasted.
He's a giggler. We got a giggler. We got a giggler.
We gotta go.
Fucking hell.
Like 10 minutes. It didn't take long. Fucking about 10 seconds.
Shit. What were we talking about? Supercoach.
Yeah.
I reckon probably one of the highest scoring rounds I've ever seen, mate. Been playing this for a while. I've not seen so many 1,400 plus scores ever playing. So I think top score overall for the week was 1649, which is nearly average of 100 points a player. You got your captain in there, but it was massive. So plenty of 1,400s, plenty of people still losing with the 1,400s. Joshy, I scored 1,448, and at the 6K mark, I only jumped 300 odd spots. So it was just consistently high scores across the board. Plenty of guns producing, captain options galore, as you can see from us scores as well.
Mate, absolutely. You better take over, mate. I'm gone.
Joshy's gone. Right,
I've never seen someone get the giggles from drinking piss before. What was in that?
All right. So
It's fucking hemp oil or something he took fucking shots of.
there's something else in that vodka, I'm sure. But look, I think probably most people would have the highest score for the year, probably. Most people. So, yeah, it was a crazy week.
Good. I tell you what, good news. One of me cash comps. Yes, the money, mate. No one had scored higher all season, so I'm hoping in the next 2 to 3 weeks we don't have anything different because pick up a couple hundred there, so that'll get me out of all the buy-ins for the year at least.
That's a good bit of a recoup, mate. Recoup. So you scored 1432. Bogan scored 1421. You boys actually played each other in the main league head-to-head as well in a knockout, so a bit rough for Bogan there. But yes, scores all round. Jumped into the first game of the week, and it was Brisbane taking on Penrith on Thursday night. And ended up being probably a little bit closer than, the scoreboard ended up being a bit closer than a lot of people would have expected. Brisbane started reasonably well. By half-time, I think they were down by a couple of tries. Supercoach-wise, a lot of people had chucked the captaincy on Cleary straight up, or plenty of VC options in there. None of them, to be fair, probably came off majorly. They weren't terrible. Cleary scored 73. Brian Tutu was a big trade target last week. He scored 70. Edwards. So no one really blew up. In fact, it was Staggs on the other side of the field who top scored for the game with 93. Another awesome individual effort from him. And Payne Haas's return was quite good as well. I think he played the 80 minutes there, and that's pretty much all base from Big Payne. And Paddy Carrigan keeps on producing, mate. Paddy Carrots.
I haven't heard that one before. Carrigan. I like it.
Carry gun.
Mate, I tell you what, the margin bettors out there would have been absolutely embracing Cleary towards the end there. When did he kick that field goal with about sort of 3 minutes to go?
Yeah.
Got the 13 plus over the line. So, mate, look, good to see the Broncos sort of put up a little bit more of a fight. Peter Gentle, the caretaker coach, or the ringing coach at the moment, has sort of come out and said, they changed the approach during the week and sort of just went a little bit more back to the basics and threw a few defensive structures out of the door, which a little bit interesting. But obviously against the best team in the comp at the moment, or arguably, they perform quite well. So obviously a long way to go, but we'll see what goes on. Yeah.
How you pulling up, mate? How's the vodka? How's the stolly treating you?
I'm not good. I do. Oh, Jesus.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, so plenty of.
I'll tell you what, mate. You should see me on the weed. It's fucking hilarious. Oh, fuck.
Oh, jeez. I couldn't imagine it. So, yeah, plenty of guys with guys like Mansour and Lawai produced as well. Appy wasn't too bad, considering he didn't have any too major attacking stats, mate. And, David Fifita was pretty quiet. A lot of people predicting he would get shut down, but a bit of a glimpse of what they got in store for next year with Jordan Ricky scoring a long-range try, which is pretty good from the young fella. I think that was his first try in the NRL as well, so... he had a good long ranger on that game.
Mate, he's the lad Corey Parker. Obviously, I spoke about him earlier in the season around sort of maybe even been before COVID, but I was talking to Corey Parker about who to watch out for this year in the Broncos, and he was talking about Jordan Ricky. So we saw a glimpse there over the weekend of what he can do. Mate, that try from 40 metres out was good, and the kid backed himself, ran to the sort of quarter post and got the job done. So... mate, I'm sure we'll see him in Broncos colours for years to come.
Yeah, for sure. And probably Stevie Crichton would have burned a few as well, only 22 points. I think that's the first time he hasn't scored a try for I don't know how many weeks. I think he's scored in every game they'd won in this streak until now. So that one hurt Crichton owners, but I'm sure he'll bounce back over the next few weeks. Moving on to the Friday, mate, at 6, and this was the one that cost you the shots. My boy's getting the job done quite convincingly in the end, but a fair bit of controversy in this one. It was all happening.
There's no controversy whatsoever, fucking ever. Nothing.
No, I was gonna have a rant on this today because people.
You fucking have your rant, son. You have your rant. Go.
Well, there's been a few articles there going, the old boys would say that this is how the game's getting soft. It's like absolutely no one is saying that tackle was legit or should have fucking happened or wasn't a fucking send-off offence. So it was a blatant high shot. So don't fucking say that the old boys would have loved it because it was a fucking nasty shot and shouldn't have happened.
Oh. I mean, I don't know. I see this one a little bit differently. I think it was unfortunate because he called the play off as he's gone in. Yes, he's led with the shoulder and it was a blatant shoulder charge. I didn't think it was like crazy.
It was fucking bad.
Crazy high.
It was fucking...
If you want to fucking know how bad it was, listen to a fucking drunk cunt talk. It was bad.
He jumped a fucking foot off the ground and hit him. He lined him up.
Yeah, he probably did. And anyway, I think he's copped he's 3 weeks if he takes the early guilty plea, 5 weeks if he fights it and loses. So
I thought at the time, and it's funny because we picked this up. The missus was sitting on the couch watching the football with me once out of every 20 years. And I tell you what, she fucking, even she was like, "Oh, what happened there?" And this bitch got no idea about football. So I tell you what, fucking hell. Woo! Oh.
Mate,
Taking that off.
KP was huge, 158 points, 3 tries, plenty of line breaks, plenty of tackle brusts, line break assists.
I will get up for that.
I'm just thinking.
You turn your mic on, mate. You have to take on over the show, mate.
I was going to say,
has
this started you off, Josh? Because you're down on that fucking turkey like it's the last fucking fluid on the earth.
I tell you what, the problem is I ain't got another one in the fucking freezer. I tell you, this is it. This is the last one.
You'll be pulling out the.
But if I tongue the can, I might cut my tongue. So be careful. Go on then.
Righto, Ponga was massive. I think he probably would have gone under the radar for plenty after his stinker the week before against the Warriors. So, plenty of people possibly trading him out as well. I think there was about 2,500 people that traded him to someone. So they would have stung.
Just hear it be quiet.
I think the top score for the week had him as captain. So big call there. Kurt Mann was really good again. Set up a really good try for us. The first one had a couple try assists, couple line break assists. Plenty of tackles. He's doing all the tough stuff in the middle. Now he's playing at night. And Barnett was massive, considering he was carrying the injury. Toa scored a double. Fitzgibbon finally got over. For your boys, Joshy, it was pretty quiet. Connor Tracy was your top scorer with 71. Talakai was good off the bench for you. It's all happening. So, yeah, not too much to report. Otherwise, I had Ramian.
Mate, I tell you what, you were lucky with Talakai. Was this the week where Ramian got injured, or is that last week?
That was last week, mate.
Right. All right. Fair enough. Never mind. Keep going. Mate, I tell you what. Yep. I'll give you my take on the Ramian what's his name? Ponga debacle. Yep. Mate. Fucking Chatty, off. There you go. There's the dab. He's off. Fucking gone. It was a terrible shot, mate. Look, you talk about the old boys and things like that, mate. He was gone. It was a terrible shot. It really was. Like, forget who's the two other blokes? What were the two other blokes' names?
Who?
The other two blokes who got charged. The other shot. That bloke. And Toby. Yeah. Toby fucking Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Mate, that was fucking nothing compared to what Chatty did. Mate, Chatty jumped at the bloke. He fucking hit him in the head. Done. Gone for the season, Chatty. Gone.
Well, I don't know. Ponga cops that every week. Not maybe to that effect, but every team we come up against, he cops that shit. Whether I'm just used to seeing it, I don't know.
I seen a photo of him on Instagram today, mate. That cunt's as fat as I am at the moment, Ponga. His head is fucking.
Well, he's copped a broken nose. Funnily enough, he didn't cop it from the shot from Townsend. It was from Trindle a couple of plays before.
He was already busted up from another shot.
So the broken nose actually come from a slap in the head from Trindle, and it just made to look worse.
I'm looking at the YouTube today.
What are those tabs, Josh?
We got only 25 viewers. Why we only got... That's xnxx.com. Why only we got 25 viewers?
Mate,
it's only the serious ones at this end of the season.
We had 50, but we lost 25 about 2 minutes ago, mate. So,
boys, the loyal will follow. I am Hampton, you take over, mate. You take over. I'm gonna go.
Yes, and you did score for your first try for I think in your career, possibly. I don't think it was the season, Josh. You crossed for the last try of the game there. So well done, mate. You've been busy on the weekend.
Bad idea. This is a bad
idea. Moving into the second game.
It's a bad idea.
Moving on to the second game on the Friday. For anyone that has just tuned in, Joshy lost a bet with me from the weekend, so he had to put away 6 shots before the start of the show. So he's done
He
that.
had a wild turkey before
now,
it, and he's had one since, so it's actually 8.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you're seeing now is
the equivalent of
the repercussions.
Of drinking 8 drinks in about 10 minutes. So
and he doesn't look finished. So he'll be sniffing around for something else, I'm sure. I reckon he'll be back into the shots shortly.
Oh.
So moving on to the second game on the Friday night, it was Melbourne eventually just staying in the arm wrestle there and getting the job done over your boys. Over your boys, Bogan. I thought your boys were better than I expected. Cody Walker was pretty big for you guys. Top scored was 81. Scored his own pie. Set up another. Pappenhausen was huge. He scored, set up a couple. Top scored there for Melbourne with 105. Cookie was pretty good.
That's a future screenshot for me.
Jeez Louise, he's full of thumbnails tonight. Cameron Smith updated it pretty nicely. Munster updated pretty nicely for anyone that had those guys at the end of the game. I think they were both around 50, or Cam Smith was under 50. Cam Murray was pretty quiet. That's probably the most relevant. Jerome Hughes was very quiet. But yes, so no Pappenhausen this week, so that'll be interesting when we start to get to the team list as well. But yeah, it was a pretty good game of footy. I didn't get to watch too many games this week, but that was one of them. And typical Melbourne, just do what Melbourne do, and got the job done in the end. Anything you want to add on this one, Joshy, or am I best off talking about it?
No.
Is he still there? He's lost his headset. He's out.
I'm back. Hang on. Enter.
Ah, right.
Put it in the chat. What's in the chat? Wait, what are we talking about?
Vote. Anything you want to add on the Friday night game?
Oh, fuck. Hang on.
So, smiley faces in the chat. If Josh should send his missus to go get more turkey.
Yes! Woo! I tell you what, you boys thought this would be a fucking show. Wasn't this ever a fucking show?
One in the chat if you think his missus is going to tell him to fuck off. Or two, if she'll be agreeable to go to the bottle for him.
Fuck, he'll be sleeping outside tonight at this rate.
I tell you what, we need some fucking more vodka. Problem is, if we get more vodka, we need more bourbon because vodka's fucking terrible.
Just have another swig, Joshy.
Hey, Mrs.
Sure, you got some fucking orange juice or something in the fridge?
I do, actually. I do have
Here we go.
pulp free.
Here we go. Pulp free like the vodka.
Can you go get me some more turkey? Say no! Boys! She's saying no! I tell you what, she fucking be quick down if I turn the camera on her. Ready? Go! Oh, she run around the corner.
Rowdy Tuesday night at the King House.
Cooper McKenzie. Good question. Yeah, we're tomorrow fucking oath on too, mate. Oh, it's going to be bad. I tell you what, boys, better be buying fucking Beamers. Jesus. Woo! Hey, Wedge, where'd you go?
I did not watch the next few games.
I tell you what.
So
I reckon they might be wrong with their fucking volume in these bottles. That's fucking... Oh, I've had a fair fucking chunk of that. Jesus Christ. She was near full. I'll tell you what, boys, I'm going to drive down the bottle. I'll be back in 20
Don't drive anywhere, Josh. You're going to get a Uber.
Yeah, no,
I'll be back.
He can't drive anywhere. There's no way he's driving anywhere.
Oh, fuck.
All right. So hopefully
he
won't be allowed to drive anywhere. I'm sure of it. So hopefully he's just going to sort some orange juice or something from the fridge.
Anyways, on to Bulldogs Titans.
Yeah, so I didn't actually catch this game. Bogan, did you watch any of this?
No, of course I fucking didn't watch this game. It's still waiting on the fucking Bulldogs to get that one win to go above the Broncos.
Oh, he's back. Hold on, he's back.
What are you turning me off for?
You can't drive anywhere. Surely not.
Do we want to go live stream?
No, we don't.
In the car.
We don't.
No, because you'll be the next.
Down the pub.
You'll be the next waiting for a mate video.
Hang
Tell
on.
Kel
Let
to take the
give me a
keys.
push.
Tell
Take
him
the
to take
keys.
the keys.
But take the keys and get a 10-pack of wild turkey.
I'm not going anywhere.
She in her 90.
Surely you can Uber Eats it or something at this point, Joshy, in life. Like 2020, surely you can get that delivered or something.
Oh, you'd fucking think so, wouldn't you?
You'd think so. All right, so let's move through it.
I tell you what.
On the Saturday.
Do we just rule Joshy out for the episode?
Oh, you tell me. Yeah, how dusty are you?
I think you should go and get yourself a big glass of water.
I tell you, I'll go get some water and then I'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, righto. I'll power through these and see. Take 5 and we'll see how you go.
I don't know who won that bet, Brent, because Josh seems to be having a better time than us tonight.
Look, it's taken 26 minutes and we're through the first 3 games of the round. So I'll try and power through these ones a bit quicker now. So, we're on fire. It's all happening. Yes, so on the Saturday, first game of the Saturday was Dogs taking on the Titans. We're all hoping the Dogs get the job done. It was the Titans in the end. It wasn't anything too pretty. Jeremy Marshall-King top scored for the Dogs. Somehow, as I said, I didn't watch this one. I know Foran's copped a pec injury, possibly done. The question marks around his career. Supercoach-wise, anyone that might be of relevance at this point of the season. Brimson scored 60, so he got a try assist and a line break assist. Hopawate was someone that I had penciled in as a potential buy, only 36 points. So their fixtures get a little bit harder after this week, so he's probably not a buy anymore. RFM was not bad, but it was just a basic score from him with 53 there. So nothing super special from RFM. You know, there might be some people that have brought in Jamal Fogarty. I don't know. Again, probably more of a draft prospect. Moe Fatuika is same again. But yeah, didn't actually catch this one, so I'm just sort of looking through the stats here and just have no idea what actually occurred in this one. Brian Kelly, obviously, as well, a big one out of that one. A lot of people probably went Latrell to Kelly, or a few people that already had Kelly. And I think it was syndesmosis pretty early on in the game for him. So that one was really stiff for anyone that brought him in this week or anyone that had him. Bogan, anything on that one before we jump into the Eagles Tigers?
I'm more interested in Bulldogs up against Manly this week. I think that actually could be a little bit more interesting Supercoach-wise than this game was.
Right, apparently we've got a bit of echo from myself. Not sure what's doing there, Benny. Still no good.
Hold on. Just let me...
Test, stand by. Have we still got the echo? We've lost Joshy. Hopefully Joshy's all good.
Joshy's all good, but he's probably not. He's probably going to decide to lay down for 5 minutes and we won't see him until next week. But how's that?
I'm getting a note from Benny, I assume not fixed. All good now. All right, yeah. Sweet. So this one was actually, I think, possibly caught the back end of this one. Yeah, this one was quite an interesting game. I think the Eagles ran away at halftime. It was 20-12. It looked all done. I think they led 30-18 or something like that at one point, and 3 late tries from the Tigers, including an Adam Dewey double and a try 3 minutes from time with the conversion, gave them the lead and gave them the win. Supercoach-wise, it was absolutely huge. Noel Faluma, about every person but me have him. So he scored a hat-trick, 120 points. He's 32.
How do you not have no Faluma?
No, here he is. 120 from the big Nofo.
Hang on. Fucking fuck that cat off. Get that fucking cat out of there.
He's back.
Hold on.
He's back.
Get that cat out of there.
Yes, Nofo is very good, guys. So thank you for reminding me, Benny. Nofo was huge for anyone that had him.
Can I say?
Yes.
Mate, you're 50% in on this bet, mate. This was 100% my idea, 50% your problem because it's in my car.
It's 120% Josh's missus problem as well.
Fuck,
Mate, I'll tell you what, boys.
120%.
If I could actually walk to the bottle, it's about 60 metres down the road, but I'm sending the wife. Hang on.
So he convinced his missus. See, that's what we call, ladies and gentlemen, an enabler. So
Anyway,
yeah,
back
I'm
to
glad,
it.
I'm
No
glad I
vote.
put your fucking screen back up, Josh. Anyway, back to the fucking game.
That's powerful.
Fair few
Cherry was
injuries,
big.
it seems, for Manly during this game as well.
Was it? I didn't
I noticed
watch
that
it.
they've got a fair few outs this week as I was grabbing the team list. So
Well, there you go. I wouldn't know because I didn't watch it. There you go. Anyway, I think it was Schuster debuted as well. I think he did quite well, even though it probably didn't translate massively into Supercoach points. What did he score? Old Schuster?
Hey guys, BJ GameDay back for another episode.
He's back. Cherry was big, so he was a big pot option there. I think their run home was good. He had 4 try assists, a few line break assists. Dewey with a double, Harper with a double. I didn't even realise Harper had moved to Manly there as well, mid-season transfer. Harry Grant was pretty good again.
That's because you're a rookie.
There you go. Harry Grant's minutes, I can only assume. You're right, mate. You're right. Harry actually played 80 minutes, which was interesting. So I don't know what happened there, whether they had some injuries or whether he's played a bit of McInnes-esque type role. But he only played 5 minutes. So any of those people we told to sell Grant last week would be pretty happy about that. Gerbo 72 with a try. Tapau had the try assist for Gerbo. Blake was pretty quiet. Another guy I thought possibly a buy last week.
The wife's asking me where my pants are. I don't know.
That's about it, I reckon. And then on the Saturday night, it was a bit of a blockbuster with a grand final replay between the Raiders and the Chooks. Yeah. If you had anything to do with the telly on Saturday night, you probably would have got the feel that SVW might have been making his return because I think he was on the screen more than the footy was for this one. But Jimmy
15 points in the fucking 14 minutes he was on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the media missed the memo, but he was never going to play huge minutes whatsoever. You know, first game in I don't know how many months. 35 years old. I don't know what people were expecting. Anyway, he got plenty of airtime. It was Josh Morris's 300th, and, you know, plenty of people wouldn't have known. So, yeah, James Tedesco, quite amazing in this one considering there was only 3, you know, the Roosters only scored 3 tries. He did score 2 of them, 132 points. Plenty of people with the captaincy on him, a couple of line breaks, thousands of tackle busts. The next highest score was Johnny Bateman, who scored a try, but other than that, nothing really. It was all, you know, Johnny Bateman 68 apart from Teddy. It was a pretty good game of footy. I think the Raiders had some opportunities, but the Chooks defence was just too good in the end. Plenty of solid scores, but nothing, you know, super special. But yeah, plenty of people with the captaincy on Teddy and paid off massively. We got the King back. I don't know what's going on with Kiri. I can only assume he's still injured. His last 2 scores have been both sub 20, so I'm assuming he's just not going to be running the ball too much. Probably wrapped him in cotton wool a bit. Jackie Whiten was quiet, but yeah, all the serial guys that you would have probably maybe hoped could have bagged a pie or 2 didn't. Brett Morris, Josh Morris, Manu, obviously Tupu crossed for 1, but yeah, very quiet for outside backs in this one. And the return of Angus Crichton as well, which is interesting. He's been named to play off the bench again this week. Whether there's a late change there, I'm not sure. He had a big break even, so he's taken a big price drop. He's got another big break even this week, but, you know, maybe if there's a late switch before kickoff, he could be a huge pod to finish the year. It's just, yeah, no idea whether he's going to go from 30 minutes that he played last week to playing, you know, 80 minutes from nowhere or enough minutes to be relevant. So their draw's not amazing, but it's not bad.
Don't start, Gomez. Don't start on Liam Knight, mate. Fuck. All right, what game are we up to? I'm back.
We're
I'm
on to
back.
the Sunday. We're finally onto the Sunday after 35 minutes. Para taking.
Fuck is that all? Jesus Christ! I tell you what, that was the
it's-
best drunk episode I've ever had.
I've been talking a bit, so you've
Parramatta taking on the Warriors, mate. I tell you what, look, this sim bidding on what was his name?
Jazz Tavanga.
Jazz Tavanga, mate. Worst I've ever seen. What an absolute joke! I tell you what, I was all voice for fucking Chatty getting sent off for the hit on what's his name?
Ponga.
Ponga. Mate, that hit on Ponga was ridiculous. Mate, this fucking shirt punching pudge fucking bullshit. What a joke.
I'll tell you what, as a non-Tavanga owner, it was good to see after the junk time he got against us the week before. But as a footy fan, there's no way that's a sin bin any day of the week. I didn't see this game at all, and when I did see that, I thought, that's pretty ridiculous. And he had a pretty good game as well. He had 62 points in base out of 57 minutes. So whether he would have played a few more minutes, I don't know. But he was looking like he would have had a really good score. So I think what do you lose for that? About 12 points or something, is it?
Mate, I tell you what, that was one thing I actually thought. I think it's 8 points for sin bin, maybe 12% off.
Yeah.
But what I did feel at the time was because he was sin bin in the first half, he played the rest of the half, continued in the second break, and then finished off the game about the last 10 minutes. I can't see him actually finishing on much more than what he did, even whether he's sin binned or not, So
yeah, maybe it was his break, his inadvertent break, as you said, and he wouldn't have done any differently. So,
58, 60 points without scoring a try, without a line break, without any sort of attacking stats. I think, mate, he's just that kind of player that just sort of gives you all base. So, I was pretty happy with it.
Thanks, Keno. So it was 8 for the bin plus need 2 for the penalty, so 10 points there. Fergo crossed through his first try. He's produced a score at 200 he's 285k this week. But for anyone whoever sat on Fergo all year, he's finally produced. Sheck was good again. Couple big performances back to back from Shecky now. Gutho was good. Brown was good. Tohu was pretty good. So Maddo was reasonable. So plenty of the usual names doing well at the back end of the year, which contributed to some big scores. Mitchell Moses, mate, for you, bit of value there around that 400k mark with a couple of try assists.
Mate, he could have done so much more. There's something there. Look. Let's talk. Let's go away from Supercoach for a second. There is something there with Parramatta. Burn my fucking tongue for saying it, but there is something there that they've got that they can unleash going into the finals. I don't know. I don't know who it is to do it, but I know everyone's sort of talking about Penrith. Everyone's sort of talking about the Roosters, how they're sort of getting all their personnel back and that. But Para have got something that can see them win the title, and I'm not too sure what it is yet because they're not showing it now. Whether they're going through a little bit of a lull, but mate, I gotta say, I reckon they're the premiership winners. I really do. Vodka and all, they're the premiership winners.
I mean, you're getting value if you put that bet on now, I'll tell you that much. I don't know. I just think I didn't watch this game, but, definitely against South last week, it was a bit more evident. It's like they don't want to, build the pressure. They're just trying to make something happen when it's not there and attack. They're not, they're not willing to get down there and just play for that repeat set. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Their defence wasn't bad up until last week all year. They had a bit of a lull. They got this one done. They got a big game against Penrith this week. So, plenty of questions to be answered this week as well. So, I mean, on paper, Joshy, I agree. I think they look like they've got a premiership winning side on paper, but whether they've just peaked too early, I'm not too sure. But if they don't turn it around quick smart, they're going to get found out pretty quick because if they don't finish in the top 4, they're going to find themselves in a knockout semi-week 1.
I just look at it with the activity in their forward pack. You've got Junior Paulo, Campbell Gillard's obviously we've spoken about it before. His best sort of all the misses is back at. She bought a 10-pack. What a legend! Not even a 4-pack. She bought a 10-pack. What a legend! Gold. Look at it. 10-pack. I mean, you look at what Penrith got in the 4-pack. Madison needs to do more. Madison from, I guess, what he's just turn into that defensive guy who sort of makes 60 tackles. He needs to do more in attack. That combination with Mitchell Moses needs to be more. Keep going, mate, while I have a drink.
I mean, I didn't watch this game, so I got no idea. I'm assuming Moses played on the right as he usually does and probably floated a bit out on the left with Jai Field, but did you see it? I don't know what that was like, but they really don't get that right edge involved enough, I don't think.
Is he talking to me?
I was, but
did I see? Look, mate, I think obviously Moses controls that right-hand side, and the 5'8" sort of he's got with him controls that left-hand side. Field, never really had sort of much compared to what Dylan Brown's been doing with Sean Lane and Geno, but I don't know.
I mean, I just think it's that pressure thing. They got the forward pack, they got the outside backs. I think they've just got to, the halves there. Moses has just got to get a bit better at probably leading them around the park and trying to build a bit of that pressure and play the game at the right end rather than trying to do something crazy on last. And I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass here, but I still think they can do it. It's just they're not taking their great form into the finals at this rate. So anyway, moving on. We're going on nearly getting able to wrap up through these games. And to finish it off, it was actually quite a good finish to the week in terms of an entertaining game. And that was with the Cowboys getting it done over the Dragons in Golden Point. I think the Cowboys snapped a 9-game losing streak or something like that with a Val Holmes field goal in Golden Point. He was the top scorer, I think, for the Cows with 93 points there, scored a try, kicked a few goals, a couple of line breaks. McInnes was big as well, some big updates for him as well. Played the 80, made plenty of tackles. Didn't get credited with his line break either, Josh, from what I'm looking here. So I didn't see. There was a lot of complaints on social media about the line break, but I'm not seeing a line break credited against his name here either. So not even a line break assist. So fill me in. I don't know what that one was, but he didn't get it. Molo crossed. Yep. You got anything? What's doing?
You got nothing.
Joshua Maguire played 75 minutes, 67 points just in base. So, again, that ceiling's just not there. I don't know. There's probably not too much else. What Lomax, mate? Lomax 67. He's got an assist and try assist and a line break assist. So there's 20 points from there and kicked. I think it was 5 goals. So there's another 20 points for him on his score. So again, Lomax continuing to do what he's done all season for people that started with him or picked him up and producing.
Oi! Fuck Zach Lomax. I heard his name.
Nofo, Lomax and Man are on my list just because they fucked me all year. Anyway, I think that was about it.
No foes. Fucking legend. Lomax and Man, you're on the list. They're not on the list.
Yeah, there's plenty that we could talk about in there, but probably more, guys in draft and stuff like that. But I think classic-wise, that'll do us, mate. So that was the round that was the round 17. And after about 45 minutes, we're ready to jump into the round 18 fixtures and team lists. So we'll start it off on the Thursday night. Bankwest will have the Tigers taking on the Rabbits. Tigers unchanged after their late win last week. Gagai's back from a hamstring, saying here, so he's replacing Jackson Paulo. And Liam Knight's found himself promoted to the starting side of Tola is out. Joshy, you have got Cody Walker. I think Cody Walker could be an interesting one this game. Obviously, Nofo owners will be hoping that they can do something on the Thursday, possibly a VC option for people, Joshy.
Yeah, mate. Obviously, mate, Cody's been in good form. You never know when Adam Reynolds is going to go out for the season. So, but if he gets a chance, Cody Walker could step up, run the show, score 150 like you missed out on last season, and get the job done.
Yeah, Grant played 80 last week, so I'm interested to see what happens this week. I don't know if there were any injuries in that Tigers game. They're unchanged from last week, so I don't know why he played 80, whether someone copped a HIA, I have no idea. But could be a good game. You'd probably expect the Rabbits to get it done after the way they played last week, but after a game like that against the Storm, teams can sometimes bounce back a little bit flat. So, they've got to keep winning to make sure that they give themselves a... I think they're pretty much out of the running to make the top 4 with 3 games to go. It's highly unlikely, but they're pretty much guaranteed the top 8, I think, as well, with another win. So they'll be looking to cement this one and move on. What are you laughing at, you prick?
Mate, whose fucking idea was this? Fucking hell.
I said chilies. In my defence, I just said a chili. You've pulled this one
mate,
from nowhere.
I tell you what, we might have to go back to the chilies if we want to continue.
Any drinking
show,
challenges are now
going
to be done at the end of the show, not the fucking start.
Well, you lose all your value, I reckon, but... 12...
Mate, you can carry this show. You've got the ability.
Fuck no.
Mate, you've got the potential.
I don't have
carry this show.
The gift of the gab. I can't sell a Beamer like you can.
Mate, I tell you what, none of our cheap ass fucking followers have bought a Beamer, so you can do this, mate. You can do this.
That's why the viewing numbers are down, I reckon, this week. They haven't been able to hear your proper tones. They want to see you. Look, Twal, again, he's probably lost all relevance. He's played 46 minutes, so, I thought he might build up to something at the end of the year. Maybe he could be a sneaky pod, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. Moving on, the first game on the Friday, make sure you got nothing on at 6 o'clock with the Dogs taking on the Eagles.
I tell you what, John, I could fucking do it. I could do a line right now. Oh, I'd be fucking gold. I'd be gold.
Yeah.
So,
Continue.
Friday, 6 o'clock. This one's, I think the most interesting part of this one will be whether the Dogs can get a win to try and jump off out of the spoon position. Supercoach-wise, it's pretty tough to be picking up guys from these teams, given they don't have much to play for, but maybe that means they throw the ball around a bit more.
I can pick up whenever I like.
You can. I mean, Daly Cherry Evans, we said it last week, was a possible buy, and he's pumped down 114 last week, so he's probably still on the list of buys. They got a pretty good draw, pretty good run home, Joshy, out of, considering they're a team that's going to not make the 8. They play the Dogs, Titans and Warriors to finish, although, Titans and Warriors have been good the last few weeks. Plenty of people with maybe not Jakey Trbojevic, but maybe Tapau, Adam Fanua-Blake, Raylan for Taylor Mariner. Whether you still got Hopper. Avarillo's now taken the 6th spot with obviously 4 and out. Thompson's found himself in the 13 jersey, so he's back with Nuffer being out for the rest of the season. I think with a syndesmosis or something like that. Otherwise, a few changes around the place in the Manly side. I think Bogan said they had a few injuries. Georgie Tafur, it says here, of Achilles, and Josh Schuster, the guy that debuted, will be gone as well. So, Miski and Cuss come in. And Ockenbaugh.
Ockenbaugh's back.
It'd be interesting to know what your thoughts are on this one at this point.
Ockenbaugh. Oh, here we go.
So, Ockenbaugh
I tell you what. Jaden Ockenbaugh, welcome back to the NRL. Champion. Young fella. I tell you what, if the girls are going to give it up, mate, you take it. I tell you what. Fucking mangoes, 50 cents each. Mate, you take that mango.
So no Tommy Turbo either. Gomez, as you said, Turbo back, will stifle DC. Whether he actually comes back or not, I think the rumour was they were trying to have him back for the last couple of games, but I think it'd be crazy to risk him. But I think he wants to play Origin. Hasn't found the team list at all this week. Ben Trbojevic, though, on the other hand, the other Trbojevic brother who most people probably thought was a safe enough, has found himself into the 21. So I have no idea what that's about, whether it's a bit of reward for good training or they just lost so many troops. I don't know, but anyone that's looking for some loop options that's got Benny Trbojevic or Burbo will have to just make sure he doesn't find his way into the 17. But can't see that happening unless injuries, but they do already have quite a few injuries. Moving on, could be a bit of a blockbuster on the Friday night, Joshy. Possibly game of the round.
We're only up to the Friday night.
Yes.
Fuck. Struggling.
Yes. So, Para taking on Penrith. Friday night, I think it's still relevant. Anyone from Penrith, you keep them in. They could score 1,000 against the Eels. It'll be interesting to see how Para bounce back after a couple slow weeks, even though they got the job done last week. I think we didn't talk about it, but Marcus Sivo still has about 20% ownership. Only scored 40 points with a try last week. I think that try came after only a couple of minutes from what I saw as well, so that's going to hurt. This is the kind of game, though, that Sivo, possibly goes over for 1 or 2 when you least expect it, but, the Eels have been struggling to score points of late, so...
No.
Him and Brian Tu'u will pair up on each other, I believe. So it could be a good matchup there. A couple of big wingers taking on each other.
Mate, Maker's a little bitch this year. He's fucked himself.
Well, he cost you.
I'll tell you what.
He cost you.
I'll tell you what. Look.
Feed a chili as well, didn't he, at one point there?
Nah, eating cat food or something.
Cat food, couldn't hack
because I'm a soft cunt. I tell you what. Look. Who's playing?
Penrith and Para.
Friday night football. Mate, look, obviously Penrith with where they're going this season, they look probably the best team out there on paper.
Isaiah Yeo is back after that concussion too.
Isaiah Yeo is back. Look, I think they'll manage his minutes. I think he'll probably get about 50 or 60 max. Obviously, any Isaiah Yeo owners, I did trade him out last week. Can't remember who for. Naturally. But I think if you've got still Isaiah Yeo, you've probably still got Sean Johnson as well, because you haven't known what you're doing in the league like us. Pretty tough times. I got nothing, mate. I got to go.
You're right. All right, you done? We've lost him. All right. Is he fading?
Yeah.
Jeez, he's done a number on him. I'll have to make sure I message him after the show. Make sure he's sweet. Anyway, don't mind Joshy there. Looks like he's just having a bit of a kit. So interestingly, Kate Wells moved to the extended bench. I don't know what's doing there, whether he finds his way back in, maybe he doesn't. Probably couldn't change too much in the Panthers 1-17 at the moment with the way they've been playing.
Let's go again. I'm always here. I'm always here for the fans.
The viewers. But yeah.
Saturday, first game at 3 p.m. Dragons.
You're saying they're not fans?
They might not be after tonight.
They're mates. They're all mates.
I tell you what, I don't know whose idea this was. Hang on, wait.
Wasn't
it was some fucking idiots on this side of the camera.
Check the thumbnail. It wasn't mine. I was throwing up chili. The Raiders taking on the Dragons. It's in Wollongong. So Lomax owners will be interested in this one on the Saturday. Possibly Jack Whiten owners or people looking for a pot at this point here. Jackie Whiten's possibly back on the table now after the Chooks game. I think they got a pretty good finish to the year.
I tell you what, I reckon Zach Lomas can absolutely tear up Rapana and Valame. I thought he'd do it last week. I thought he'd do it last week against the Cowboys, but only scored 60 odd. Think fuck, because it won me a few head-to-heads and he didn't actually go large.
I believe he'll be on Croker. So generally Croker, whilst he doesn't seem like anything super special, even though I'm not a first-grade NRL player, he's generally pretty safe. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Lomax likes to get up for those high balls as well. So I don't know if it'll be Valame or Kotrick outside of Croker this week. They seem to chop and change a bit, but Croker's generally pretty safe. So I'm hoping as a non-Lomax owner he can shut him down. Cody Ramsey, mate, I don't know if you saw him in the Nines, but he scored 1,000 tries in the Nines. Looks like he's set to get his debut jersey with Ravalawa out for some reason. I've got no idea. Mm-hmm.
Why is Ravalawa out?
It does not say in the thing I'm looking in here. It just says he's making his debut in the place of Mikhail Ravalawa.
Interesting.
We've got Papali, yes, as well. I think he went off early last week with an AC injury. He has been named back up this week. So it's interesting he's been named a starter as well. So whether that's a smoky, whether he plays or not, I wouldn't have thought they would risk him in a game like this at this point of the year. If it was a bad injury, I suppose they're still trying to push for top 4, hoping the Roosters can, get done. But their points difference is pretty bad. So they're still technically probably a couple wins behind the Roosters. I don't know whether the injury wasn't as bad as it seemed. Interesting there for Papali owners. Yes, Kando, I reckon a hard call there for someone like yourself with Papali and Barnett. Starling starting again as well. So whether you have him in draft or you might have picked him up as a cheapie weeks ago in Classic, he's starting to get some opportunity to start the game. So he could be a massive finish to the year. He played big minutes again last week. He's got a little bit of that Cook-esque about him. So Bogan, I know you've got him in draft. You'll be happy about that. Classic, he's up over 400k now. But yeah, he's just sort of come out of nowhere, and the starting's pretty massive.
The stars are going to have to align for me in draft this week, I think, but we'll see how it goes.
Yes, so otherwise, Vaughan returns from suspension. Cade Ellis has earned himself a start in the front row as well, with Kerem Laurie moving on to the bench. 5:30 Saturday, Titans, Brisbane. So again, Supercoach-wise, plenty of Brimson owners will be interested in this one. Anyone with Stags or Stags possibly an option now. Even David Fifita, I think Brisbane's draw. Whilst it might sound funny given it's the Broncos, it gets a little bit better now. So they'll finish with Gold Coast Eels Cowboys. So you could, if you don't already have Stags, you're looking for something different. You could finish the year with Stags. Joshy's frozen.
Yeah,
Joshy's gone. Yeah, we've lost him. I'll make sure I'll check on with him after the show, make sure he's all right.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, David Fifita, possible option. Stags as well, be looking for something different. Plenty of people bringing in Brimson last week. Firma's moved into the centres. What else have we got there, Bogan? Carrigan's still there at the back. Hart's there. So I don't think you can be doing much with these guys. I would argue maybe is this a week you could possibly look to go, offload Carrigan. But I just think, I've had a look. His scores are just too consistent. He's reminding me of like a Corey Parker with the amount of work he gets through, and he's getting the minutes. His base is second to none. If you look at his base stats for the last 4 weeks, he's put up 70 points minimum every week. So I know he doesn't have the attacking stats in him, but you'd be mad to trade him at this point of the year. I reckon because, even if you go to a Crichton or I don't know, even if you can get to a Cam Smith or something like that, maybe you could justify it with a Cam Smith. But, at this point of the year, it's pretty solid to this guy to be just pumping out the scores he is. So, Titans side of the field, there's probably not much else really apart from Brimson, to be fair, at this point. Anything else you're going at, maybe a mofo, you really are clutching and looking for something pretty pottish. So I think it's a bit risky at this point of the year when you've guys like Clemmer and Haas and Carrigan performing the way they are. But you don't win the comp by picking the same players as everyone else. So moving on to the Saturday night, it would have been a good game had
Ponga, yeah.
Ponga, obviously Ponga, we're hopefully not a one-player team, but the omission of Ponga, obviously, with the contact last week, possibly the broken nose. Mitch Barnett as well is a massive out for us, and Heimel Hunt. So those boys have all been rested. We welcome back Edric Lee, Daniel Safidi is back, and also Sion Matadia. But you look at the way those Chooks performed last week. It's pretty hard to see how they're going to get done in this one at the SCG, where they typically perform well. I'm
just hoping that Clemmer makes a shit ton of tackles.
Yeah, I think he will be. Unfortunately, I don't like to admit it, but I look at especially our outside backs and our halves, and I think we could be in for a big afternoon on our edges, or big night on the edges. So, all those guys that 1 to 7 for the Chooks are probably good options this week. Josh is in the chat. Sorry, the missus needed to pretend orgasm. He's on fire. Unfortunately, like I said, I think our boys will be doing it tough this week, containing them. Teddy's just in amazing form, as we saw last week. So, he's firming up as a pretty good captaincy option this week. I'd be surprised if we kept him under, 80 points. He's just so much of a handful, too hard to contain. Kurt Mann, as you said, Clemmer as well. They'll be doing plenty of tough stuff in the middle. Angus Crichton's found himself on the bench again, but whether there's a late switch and he takes Tilly or something like that, I'm not sure, but you'll just have to keep an eye on team lists for that one. The Sunday,
Storm Cowboys.
It makes for a pretty interesting one for Supercoach for any of the Storms players. I think there was a lot of people possibly targeting. Geez, Josh is flying in the chat. 7 inches of Romper Stomper.
Fucking can you ban your own channel from the chat?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if your own channel. 7 inches. He's talking himself up there. I think there was plenty of people with the potential omission of Ponga this week looking at Pappy, but little Pappy Ryan Pappenhausen has been ruled out this week with an Achilles injury. I believe he played through it throughout the game last week, but he has been rested this week, to manage that injury. So Nico Hines will play in the fullback position. So that's a pretty big out for them, especially for Pappy owners, especially considering Ponga is out as well. And there might have been people that had both. So that puts people in that position quite compromised for the week. I think at that point, if you've got both of them, you'd have to be looking to bring Teddy in now. As a result, you can't be running no fullback at this point unless you've only got your one AE on your bench. Cameron Munster might firm up as a bit of a pod captaincy option, maybe not 2 pod. Cameron Smith as well. It'll be interesting just to see whether he gets through the full 80 in these games. Maybe he's trying to get a bit of it. He had a bit of time off with that injury. Maybe he'll be fine, but I think there might be a few people throwing the captaincy on Munster or Smith this week. Jerome Hughes is a bit of a pod, big break even. If you're looking for something different to finish the year, because I think Melbourne have probably got the best. Given the team they are, they're performing. They do it every week. They've got an amazing finish set of fixtures for their own home with the Cowboys, Tigers, and the Dragons. It's just going to be a matter of, I guess, whether they play all these guys the full 80. If they start putting them to the sword. So, maybe Nico Hines this week. I think he's a dual fullback 5'8" or dual fullback halfback, and he's pretty cheap. I think he's only around mid 200k. So, if you're looking at this stage of the season to downgrade, I don't know, if you've got Avarillo there or someone like that, he's a guy this week could be a sneaky option for a reserve with a few guys out this week as well. I don't know, something different in there. The Cowboys side of the field, again, for Classic, probably not too much doing at this point. If you got Ponga and Pappy, maybe you could look at Val Holmes. But I think the Cowboys, in contrast, have probably got one of the worst runs home to finish the year of any side after last week. So they will finish with Melbourne, Penrith, Brisbane. So they finish with Brisbane. But, the next 2 weeks they play arguably 2 of the best sides. So, well, not arguably, they played 1 and 2. So, Josh Maguire will probably get through a heap of work. Kenny Bromwich is back, but yeah. And to round it out, I think for the round will be the Sharks Warriors on the Sunday. SJ's back. Who else is there? Talakai has found himself back in a starting position, which fucks me because I traded him out. So I don't know how many weeks Graham got. Did you hear anything about how long Wade Graham got, Bogan? Is anyone in the chat? What did Wade Graham get for that spear tackle? Was it just a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Maybe. I can only assume it was a week. I'd have to have a look. Talakai, that annoys me because I traded him out thinking he wasn't a chance of getting any starts for the year, and he would have been a good one to have this week. Maybe Tuivasa-Sheck is an option for people that Ponga Pappy's looking for something different. What's their run home like? 2 weeks, Gomez. Wow. Okay, there you go. So Talakai becomes a nice prospect for the next couple of weeks, but I imagine he'll play out on the left, and he predominantly was playing on the right. So I don't think it matters for him. Just the nature of his work. He's just taking plenty of hit ups, busting plenty of tackles. He'll just do that on the left as well. The Warriors' run's not too bad. They play Cronulla this week, Raiders next week, Manly to finish. So no, 2 out of 3 of the games not too bad. If you're looking for something, like I said, potty to finish the year. I don't know what Sheck's ownership is. I'll have to have a quick look at it. Bogan. Apart from that, you got Jazz at 13, Tohu Harris at 12 on the Warriors side of the park. Those guys are really relevant at this point of the year still. SJ back. I don't know. There's probably not much else doing in that one for classic wise. I reckon maybe Shecky has a bit of a pod. I wonder what his ownership is. I'll just want to have a quick look.
Brought to you by Supercoach Stats, as always.
Not the ownership percentage, believe it or not.
Wow.
Supercoach got 3% at this point. So massive pod for Sheck. Again, with Ponga and Pappy out, you could go a little bit clutch with Shecky, but yeah, it's a little bit out there probably at this point with Ponga hopefully back next week and probably Pappy as well. If you got Teddy, you're probably not going to get rid of one of those guys now that you can't go Ponga to Pappy. So, and that rounds out the round. I don't think there's too much else to mention on any of that, Bogan, unless you got any thoughts.
No. You and Joshy had no trades this week.
Yeah, I was thinking Ponga to Pappenheisen, probably like a few were this week, but obviously that's off with no Pappenheisen names. So, at this point,
I was meaning to.
I'm not looking at anything.
I had Latrell and Yo and Dylan Brown, so I wasn't able to get rid of all 3 obviously last week. So I'm going Dylan Brown to Cam Munster this week.
Yeah, good trade. Good trade. Captaincy options, Bogan, just before we move on to the fixtures. Who are you thinking for?
It's been set and forget Teddy all year for me.
Set and forget Teddy, yeah. Okay, and any VC on... You're a NoFo owner, aren't you?
Yeah. Probably VC... Oh, shit. When are the Roosters playing? Friday night?
This Saturday. They're the last game on the Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to, weigh that up. Probably NoFo. We'll see how they go.
NoFo is an easy one.
Thursday.
It could blow up. Otherwise, maybe someone in the Penrith game. You could look at Cleary or one of those outside backs.
Yeah, generally I put the VC on Cleary or Cameron Smith.
Yeah.
But there's no point putting your VC after your fucking captain plays, so Smith's not an option. Yeah,
absolutely. Brimson against the Broncos and maybe equally Stags and Fafita. I keep going to Fafita, but those guys as well, possible options before the Chooks get into it on the Saturday. Maybe Tedesco is the VC and you go into a Munster or Smith against the Cows. I don't know. Plenty of variables this week, and I think at this point of the year with the teams very similar with not too many pods.
The one week I didn't pick Teddy as captain. He scored a fucking million points, and I had to fucking loop to get back to him. So, and I ended up losing to Josh. So yeah.
Yeah, well, he had it on NoFo.
He had on NoFo, and he fucking changed it. I'm fucking pissed.
So anyway, I think we'll probably jump into the results from last week as well from the leagues, folks.
Into the groups.
Josh is feeding us. CUNTZSCers sounds so professional without me. No, we need you, mate. We need you back here.
Sober next week.
Yes, no more alcohol challenges.
Yeah, well, we do it mid-show if that's the case. It's all right if he wants to be sloppy during the fucking leagues. So the top 10 for the BJ and Game Day group, Dan with Badonkadonk. He's sitting in number 1, and he made it really easy for me too this week because he also was top of the group with 1570.
Wow, so he's best rank overall, and he also top scored.
Yeah.
Well done, Dan. That's huge considering where you are. Obviously, moving into top it's 34 overall. Well done, mate, with a huge score. Jono, Josh, those three guys, the DBS devastation. I mean, there's some big scores. Kando's moving in as well. He keeps slowly but surely. So, look, I mean, your top 10 there are all well inside the top 1,000. So, well done, boys. Yeah, keep it up and good shit. Good to see.
Oops, sorry, I just had a bit of a technical mishap.
It's no worse than the person mishap we had tonight.
Yeah, so the BJ on GameDay League, and I'm sort of glad Josh isn't around anymore for this one. So Kane Anderson got up over yourself, Brent, but you've got a second bite coming in the top 4, so you're still in it.
Yeah.
Josh King knocked me out, so he'll be playing you next week. Macca got up over Daniel, so well, you went all right, Daniel, but that's it. You're with me on the bench. And Adrian got up over Marty with the lowest scores of the week, it seems. I wish I'd have been playing either one of those blokes.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Because I think if I had a loss, I wouldn't have made the 8. And and Bundy, my mate, that came 9th, actually scored like 15. I think he scored 15-30 or something this week. So we would have smoked whoever we would have played. But yeah, I had my shot at immortality against Kandos. Couldn't get it done despite my best efforts. He even captain Cleary, and I had Teddy, so it wasn't even enough. But Nofo helped there. He had Jazz who got binned. So I had my shot at immortality. I couldn't get the job done. He also beat me in draft, so I'm a bit sick about that. But yeah, yourself, mate, you're a bit unlucky. You lose by 11 there and 3 with some big 1450 pluses. So, and obviously, yeah, Adrian and Marty got to battle it out in the battle of the 1300s. So,
so Kane and Adrian get the week off.
And Kane has two wins away from the perfect season. I think it'd be hard to repeat too.
Yep. On to the BJ All-In League. So, Killer Coronas of Trent got up over Polly's Pocket Rockets, but they came first, so they're still in it. The Green Machine for Sam knocked out Josh King. Josh Miller's Dog got up over Michael, knocking him out. And Tomo got up over my team. So I'm up against Josh Miller's dog next week. And Trent and Tomo get the week off. 1 win away from the grand final for them.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at all those scores again, Bogan, all 1300s, if not 1400s. So it's just absolutely massive everywhere. A couple of guys hard done by there with some big scores, but that is Supercoach and head-to-heads. So you're still alive, mate. You still got a chance to salvage something from these head-to-heads.
Oh, mate, yeah. Yeah, fun. As I said, I lost every fucking game I was in this week. Because going into the BJ version 2, I went down to Dean by 5 points. So as I said, I went down in all my leagues, but I didn't get fucking flogged by anyone. So Dean's 1 win away from the grand final. Ryan with 1-2 kick out. He's got up over Michael with Barber's White Lines. So it's me up against him next week. The Sackman, Mark, he has knocked Shano out. Shano's representation in the finals there. So I don't know what happened with Shane this year. He started really strong. He seems to have died off a bit in the later stages of the season. And
too many teams to manage, I reckon, Bo.
Yeah. When you've got a team in every league in Supercoach. And Psycho Circus got up over the Big Ballers. So Joshy 1 win away from the grand final in the BJ version 2. And Mark and Tim will battle it out to see who plays Dean.
Well, the way things are shaping, we need one of you boys to, make one of these GFs and take it out because, we're in trouble here of even defending one of these leagues.
Well, yeah, well, we'll see. I'd like to hope that at least one of you fellas is in the final.
Yeah, it won't be me. So yeah, that was good. Good to see. So all knockout from here. Any finals games from now on, straight knockout, sudden death. So if you got, if you're a head-to-head player, whether it's these leagues or cashies or whatever it is, if you're unsure or it gets to the point in the weekend where you've got a couple trades there that you need to pull because you got to get the win, pull the trigger because you won't. You'll be playing overall next week if you lose this week.
And on to the draft.
Oh,
So,
God.
Kane Anderson continuing his form, beat yourself there, Brent. Gave you a bit of a hiding, actually. 6-12. What happened there?
Oh, it was over before it started. I think it was, crazy. As I said, he's been doing what he's been doing. He's just keep pumping out these big scores. I think he scored 1,000 the week before. Again, I had my chance. I had my shot at immortality, and I just didn't take it. So he's giving me the sausage everywhere this week. None of the lads fired. I think I had a quick look, and I hadn't scored under 700 or something like that since, I don't know if it was around 10 or something like that, 650. So this was a bad score, and the boys will be licking their wounds as we take on a pretty strong checkmate from last week as well. So
checkmate. Knocked out Big Ginge there, but good on Big Ginge for even making the finals, considering the start he had, getting all the default teams. So I think well played to get himself in the running there. I think.
Yeah, I think yeah. Well done, Ginge. Considering you missed the draft, you had Lolo as well. Well, you had Lolo till you traded him out, but we had a look at that. And he had scored, 1,000 points less than most others, or 100 points more than Marty, who got the swoon. But he made the first ever finals, so credit there. And big matchups this week, mate. Yourself taking on Kando. The winner will go straight through the grand final and get the first position.
Yep, and yourself versus Mana to see who will beat me to play Kane Anderson in the grand final.
Not with an attitude like that. I will tell you, Bogan, I was looking in our chat today, and I believe Mana and Candos are possibly liaising on some sort of team trade between themselves. So, if that happens, mate, I'll have an offer for you. Because these boys are, I think the trade that I saw between them, I don't know where it got up to because I was busy the Savo, but I think they threw up.
Well, you're the league commissioner, aren't you? You can block trades.
Well, I can't block trades because I think it's going to be worse for us.
Surely in the finals.
Oh, what was it? Was it Grant and RFM for Jazz Tavanga? So Kando would trade Harry Grant and Raymond for Taylor Mariner for one player from Checkmate in Tavanga.
See, and that's why I never make any of. I can't see chat at the moment, but that's why I don't ever take any of Kane's trades because they're always lopsided and they always leave you with a player missing that you're going to have to try and pick up somewhere else. It's always 2 for 1, and it's like fuck off. You trade me.
At this point of the season, Bogan, there's no point keeping your bench full. So that's what you have a look at. Kando's side and probably Sheck's as well. See you, Gomez. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk a bit of draft now. These guys will probably have someone play early in the round, whether it's that Tigers Souths game, Para Penrith game, and have a look at them to see what they score. So, for instance, if it's who's an example of a player, say for my team, for instance, I've got Cody Walker, and I'm not 100% confident he'll score well this week. Rather than have him in my starting 13, if I put him on the bench and he scores well, obviously if I ensure none of those other 3 players on the bench are going to play, and then also trade someone out from that starting 13 for someone that won't play, I'm going to get that guy as an AE. So you get a free look at that player. So if you have a look at Kando's and Mana's teams, Bogan, this week, and Kando will do it this week. And I will, Checkmate will do it this week as well. So that's the strategy. It's not a secret, Mana. You boys know what you're doing. But have a look. There's no point having, as I said, you got Fui Mariner or whoever you got. There's probably not much point having them at this point. Try and maximise Maybe Hewitt's a little bit different because you've got a second chance for next week. But just have a look at what those guys are doing. But I think that trade benefits them both quite a lot. And I think I had a look as well. Mana got Mana actually got Stags doing that last week. Mana got Stags as score doing that last week. That's a good example of it.
I'm just hoping that Teddy and Lomax both fire at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, you do have Teddy. That's the big variable. So, I believe Grant and RFM are good trades for Mana because he's got Alawai, who's probably his only weak spot, and for Kando, he's got depth everywhere, so he can afford to get rid of Grant and RFM, and Tuanga strengthens his hooker up. So, it's a fair trade. As much as I don't like averages, you could probably put it to a page and people go, "That's rubbish," but it sounds like it's pretty fair enough at this point, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it. But, yeah, mate, we'll have to come up with something if these bastards pull a little Swifty.
Oh, well, wasn't that an interesting fucking show? We've actually finished 10 minutes early, though, because we skipped the trades. So.
Bundy. Evening, Bundy. I think B. Kelly's mate of mine. Good to see you tune in, mate. You're probably trying to tune in to see what my trades are in Classic this week, mate, so you can take out the Subs Cup. Unfortunately for you, I won't be doing any this week. So, oh, really? Was it denied, Kando? There you go. I didn't expect that, Mana. I thought that one was on for sure, lads. Anyway, Bogan, you've done
Can
well.
you explain the rules behind that? Why? So you're the commissioner.
Yes.
So you'd have to green light trades. Or I thought.
So the way it works is guys can organise trades between themselves. In the system they can do the offer or they can chat through Messenger or whatever. But it comes up to I have to do a final approval. So the reason you can have commissioner approved trades or league approved trades, and the reason why I've done commissioner approved is there's an example I told the lads about earlier in the week where we had a work comp where one bloke was unhappy that no one would team trade with him for whatever reason, whether they were fair trades or not, and he traded all of his good players to another person's team, and we couldn't do anything about it because we didn't have any of these settings. This was a long time ago now, I think, when draft probably first started out.
So why would it auto deny it?
No, I think Mana's possibly just declined the trade.
Oh, okay.
So that's what he means there. I don't know. I assume, but yeah.
I thought there might be a cutoff period in the finals.
Nah. So I set up a gentleman's agreement in the chat to say to the guys out of the runnings of finals, can we not trade with them because I think it's in the interest of fairness.
I was going to say, I'd be if you get knocked out this week, it's give us Cookie.
Yeah.
And
So I don't know if the system allows those guys to team trade now as well, but we do know that, Bundy actually told us that the system doesn't let those teams that have been knocked out pick up free agents. Oh. So at this point, the only people picking up free agents are us that are still in the finals.
That's interesting.
So we had a gentleman's agreement, no team trades for anyone out of the finals. So Kando and Mana aren't breaching any rules if they were to trade between any four of us, really. I just think it's interesting at this point in the season, any team trades that are going on. But it sounds like it's not happening, which, that's an interesting one. But, yes, Bogan. So I think some of that, when we do it again next year, we might want to firm up some of those rules at the start just so it's clear, because I did that on the fly. And we didn't have to worry about you doing any team trades because that was never going to happen.
And we'll obviously go into that as over the next couple of weeks, what the setup for next season will be. Because I'll probably do an invitational draft for what I said to Shane. I always call it the funny cunt draft. And just pick a lot of the regulars from the chat for a draft that's separate to the BJ and GameDay draft. Just because I think our draft episode, that was the most fun that I've had all year doing the show, even though it was fucking hectic. It was fucking hilarious, especially Big Ted. So shout out to Big Ted if you're listening.
I reckon I'd be keen to make one of those a keeper league as well. I'd be keen to do a keeper with some of those lads if we could for that one, maybe. But we'll talk about it. I think. Plenty of time till next season, Bogan. But I think that's a cool idea, like you said, anyway, to have a few of those guys that are, regularly in, and a few of them haven't done it. I know Benny and a few of those guys haven't played draft before, so they'd be pretty keen, I reckon. And then, draft nights, any night you look back at that video now, I think there was plenty of laughs about different bits and pieces. So it was awesome. Yeah. And again, thanks to all the boys. We're getting to the end of it, but all the boys dialed in pretty much. Didn't have to, jumped on. If you haven't seen that video, you can go and have a look at some of the bad trades and stuff we made early or picks and stuff.
Big Ted freaking out because his phone froze or something on his trade.
Tedesco going at pick 4 after me, Joshy, and Ted let him go. So things like that, mate.
I was shocked because I had him pegged as number 1 pick. So even if I had the number 1 draft pick, I was going to pick up Teddy. And I thought someone else will pick him up. And he was still there when it got around to me, so I grabbed him.
I'm the only one left that isn't a draft rookie. So one of you bloody rookies is probably going to take it out, whether it's Kando, Big Mana, or yourself, Bogues. So I'm flying the kite for the experienced drafters, but it hasn't helped me at all. I reckon next season what we do, rather than just defaulting people to a pick based on something, I think however we do it as well, it might be cool to let that person, if we do the 9s again, if you're the team that makes it the furthest or wins it, you get to choose where you pick. So you get the first choice of the pick that you want.
Yeah.
So you might not necessarily want number 1. You might want, in the middle, or you might want the back end, so you get to, top 9 or whatever it is. So, a few ideas for how you might want to do that. I think we do a live draft again, but I'm sure, there'll be plenty of things we can think of in that space, folks.
Sure. And
it was good.
We will, obviously, we've got another few weeks to go of the regular season. But we'll probably do, because I was thinking instead of doing a grand final week after, we'll probably do a State of Origin special and congratulate all the winners and go through the Origin, because that's it's a game of interest for the whole fucking country. I think it especially will be this year, considering it's the first ever post-season Origin. So,
yeah, for sure. And our winner of the draft will get this hoodie I'm trying to sort out as well. So, Mana, are you in? I don't know if Mana's in Oz or if he's in NZ. I don't know why I think he might be in NZ. I don't know, but I was sort of happy at least Ginge or Ted didn't win it because I didn't have to post something to NZ possibly. But
to be fair,
I don't know where Mana.
Who's at Shieldsy? I haven't seen him in the chat tonight, but he's in fucking England or some shit.
Well, there you go. So tuning in, we got viewers from around the world that tune.
I think we got. I think we got a few from New Zealand and one from the UK. Yeah, that's around the world.
I think he's Irish, isn't he? Anyway. Yeah. Look, I think that's about it. Unless anyone's in the chat, there's probably not too many at this point of the show and this point of the year as well.
Mana's Aussie.
Oh, sorry. Mana, I don't know what I thought you were in NZ. Oh, that's sweet. That's good. That'll save some postage.
Well, why? It's fucking Kate.
Well, I plan on
anyway.
I plan on winning it, so hopefully I won't have to post nothing.
As I said, whoever.
Oh, there's Shilsey. Hey, Shilsey, how are you, mate? So he's in Ireland. Yeah, mate. We'll have to get some using.
Yeah,
to a draft next year
but
as well.
Shilsey for Whelan to fucking tune in. I don't know what fucking time it is over there, but he'd be in an invitational draft for sure.
Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll sort some of that out. Again, thanks to everyone that's tuned in all year. Most of you guys have been really consistent. It's been an interesting season with all the COVID and the break and this and that, but you guys are consistently tuning in, giving us the support, jumping in the live chat, jumping in our group chat. It's been really good, so thank you guys. I know Joshy's not here.
We'd learned a very important lesson tonight, and that is if you're going to do 6 shots, you don't do it at the start of the show. You do it probably in the middle would have been better.
So we got Zach's got his driving test tomorrow. Good luck, bud, with that. Damon's got his math exam tomorrow, I think, the night before a math exam. Yeah, so good on you, Damo. Good to see. That's 1:30 for Shieldsy over in England. But, good to see all the boys jumping in the chat. We love that, so jump in. We're all here as the same community. This is what brings us together. So help each other, all that sort of stuff. We don't want to be bagging anyone or anything like that. So just more of that stuff and, get the community going again for next year, mate.
Yep. All right. Well, see everyone, hopefully with more on the ball, Josh King, next week.
Yeah, and drink responsibly.
Yeah, drink responsibly and don't drink and drive. If one of you mates is looking to drink and drive, get their missus to go and buy them a 10-pack instead.
Thanks, guys. See you next week. Have a good one. May the trade gods be kind.
Hey guys, Joshy here. Thanks very much for joining us for another episode of BJ on Game Day. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube for all your notifications. If you do want to follow us on Facebook, you can find us there at BJ on Game Day, and on Twitter we're at BJ on Game Day as well. So guys, we'd really like your support with that. Follow us so we can know you guys are enjoying the content. Thanks very much.